I know, SpongeBob theories are not some new ground that I'm discovering, but I do think that I have something to add to the conversation. A common trope I find with a lot of these conspiracy theories is that none of them actually dive into the themes and symbolism of the show itself. You can uncover or discover whatever you'd like, but why? Why would all of this inconsistency and mystery surround such a seemingly simple show? If there is some hidden meaning, what is the core of it? What is the center? Why would it need to be told? What are they warning us of? What are they trying to tell us? But I think the answer is much more simple than people would actually like to admit. I think that the key to SpongeBob is SpongeBob. And not only has it been that simple the whole time, but it's been in front of our faces at the beginning of every episode. One of the most consistent things about SpongeBob and a lot of media in general is that the main character has something that makes them different. And that is especially evident in a show like SpongeBob, where he still stands out despite how colorful the cast of characters is. In such a colorful world with so much attention to detail on every single thing, character, object, building, what does our main character represent? More importantly, what symbolism? And before we look at the main man himself, we have to look at his surroundings. In the very first episode of SpongeBob, we are introduced to the Bikini Bottom world and immediately told, yes, this is SpongeBob's house. Of course he lives in a pineapple, you silly. As if the number one priority of the narrator himself is to make sure we as the audience do not think about why he lives in a pineapple. Obviously, you could just say that this is some stupid throwaway joke to laugh at how silly the premise is, but there is such a passion to this show and such an attention to detail with it that I believe that there is some level of importance to this being the very first joke. This is the narrator of the show going out of his way to mock us for even questioning. And I think that it was very specific to make the narrator the one to say this joke. The narrator is one of the few human characters. And if you've watched SpongeBob theories before, you probably know about the theory that humans are running the show. They are manipulating what happens, what goes on, what we see. So if the humans run this whole operation, they run what we see of the Bikini Bottom, why do they not want us to question SpongeBob or his house? So I do what any rational person who does SpongeBob conspiracy theories would do, and I searched up what is the symbolism behind the pineapple. Well, the main thing I found about pineapples isn't that interesting. It's just about how they kind of symbolize hospitality, so that's not much, but I did find something darker, yet a lot more interesting. Pineapples are symbols for and have deep ties with colonialism. I find this very interesting because the dichotomy of pineapples representing hospitality, but also representing colonialism, seems very opposite. Fitting, considering that pineapples are a symbol of friendship, and they are very friendly, but they're also spiky and pointy and ow. But I believe I also read something about pineapples being given as a gift, and all of these things seem so contradictory, unless you compare them to a fake gift, such as the Trojan horse. Something that appears kind and friendly, but only brings danger. Something that our favorite little yellow boy often seems to do. But no way. It couldn't be. Unless One of the coolest parts of SpongeBob, as I've said multiple times in this video, is the attention to detail. The Krusty Krab is a crab trap, there's anchors, there's all sorts of, little references to marine biology. So, if the show clearly cares so much about proper representation of the ocean, then how come the main character isn't a sea sponge? Yeah, so one of the weirdest things about this show is that mostly they get a lot of stuff right about the ocean, but then you'll just have some weird stuff, and the perfect example of that is that SpongeBob is a kitchen sponge, a product made by humans. And I could just say that this was a weird creative decision, but what makes it even stranger is that we see real sea sponges in the show. SpongeBob's parents appear to be real sea sponges. So the only conclusion I was able to come to with this was that SpongeBob is a plant to be the main character. Humans made him the main character. It follows him to make the Bikini Bottom look bad. And they want to make the Bikini Bottom look bad so that they can eventually invade the ocean. Now, that might seem like a huge stretch, but let me explain. All sorts of stuff in the Bikini Bottom is just like this thrown away stuff from the human world. Buildings that are just sunken ships. The Krusty Krab is literally a lobster trap. I would go as far as saying that there's evidence to show that maybe the entire Bikini Bottom and its history are just fabricated to make the sea dwellers look bad. I mean, think about it. We've seen entire new cities and towns that are totally normal and mundane. But the Bikini Bottom is home to some of the strangest characters you'll ever see. I do think most of the Bikini Bottom residents don't know what's going on, but I would also say it's definitely been secretly puppeteered to be bad looking and make a mockery of the underwater landscape. But if it all really is some sort of crazy theory where everything has just been set up to be propaganda against the sea, then why? It's not like anyone from Bikini Bottom is a real threat. Even plankton is kind of a joke. So what warrants the humans going after the ocean critters so hard? Why create an entire TV show of anti-ocean creature propaganda? Who or what could possibly scare the humans into doing something like this? Oh, yeah. This would also explain why Neptune is such a dumbass and a loser and a villain in the movie. They're just trying to make him look bad. It's propaganda. He's probably not even the real Neptune in the movie. He's most likely an actor. Well, I think I've stated my case pretty well for this video. They're going after Neptune. They're going after the ocean creatures. SpongeBob's a plant. Yada yada. But I kind of want to go more in depth, so perhaps expect a sequel to this video. But before I stop the video, if you don't believe me so far, I'd like to show one last bit of evidence to hopefully change your mind.
SpongeBob SquarePants!
Did you catch it? Did you catch it?
SpongeBob SquarePants!
Every single episode, a human hand helps him get ready. Bye.